Your body is covered with skin. Its main function is to protect the organs inside the body. It also functions for insulation, regulation of heat, and excretion of waste. When you do an intense physical activity, the temperature of your body rises and you perspire. This is because the skin regulates the temperature of your body. It secretes water together with some salts and other substances, and this immediately gives the body a cooling effect. Various parts of the skin helps for protection, regulation, and sensation. In this lesson, you will learn more about the parts and functions of the integumentary system. Its various roles are very important. Can you name the organ of the body and describe it? The first picture is the hair. It grows in every part of the body except in eyelids, palms, and lips. Skin, it is the body covering of the humans and when the hair grows. The nails, it can be found on our fingertips and toes. Our skin is next to the kidneys in importance as an organ of excretion. It eliminates fluid daily in the form of sweat or perspiration. Sweat is 99% water. The remaining 1% is sodium chloride and a small amount of organic waste, giving it a characteristic smell. The sweat glands of the skin get rid of sweat as a waste product. Each sweat gland has a much twisted section observed to be in close contact with the blood vessels. Waste diffused from the capillaries into the sweat glands. Here, they find their way out through the pores as sweat. Sweat helps in the regulation of our body temperature. The body functions well at the normal body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. 20% of the excess body heat is lost as a result of the evaporation of sweat. The functions of the integumentary system. It protects the body's internal living tissues and organs. It protects the body against microorganisms and invasion by infectious organisms. It protects the body from dehydration and against abrupt changes in temperature. It helps dispose of waste materials. It acts as a receptor for touch, pressure, pain, heat, and cold. It stores water and fat. It helps in the production of vitamin D. There are 5 organs in the integumentary system. They are the skin, hair, nails, sebaceous glands or the oil glands, and the sudoriferous glands or the sweat glands. Skin is the largest organ in the human body and accounts for about 13% of your body total weight. The skin is made of 3 main layers, and these are the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous tissue. Layers of the skin. The epidermis is a thin outermost layer and is made up of many small layers. One of them is called the basal stratum and is the only one that can complete a process called cell division. Cell division is when an already existing cell divides into new cells. The skin is always shedding dead cells, so it's important to always have new cells. The epidermis also contains a pigment called melanin, which gives skin its color. African Americans contain more melanin in their skin than Caucasians. People with a disorder called albinism contains very little to none melanin in their skin, giving them almost pure white skin and very light blonde hair. The epidermis is non-vascular, meaning it doesn't contain any blood vessels. There are many different types of cells within the epidermis. The squamous cells. A squamous cell is one type of epithelial cell that covers almost everywhere. They are flat and scaly and are on the surface of the skin. Melanocytes produce melanin, which is the pigment that gives skin its color. Langerhans cells are created in bone marrow and move into the epidermis and help protect the body. The skin has tiny openings called pores, through which sweat and oil leave the body. The dermis is the thicker inner layer of the skin. It contains blood vessels, connective tissue, nerves, receptors, sebaceous and sudoriferous glands, hair shafts, and lymph vessels. There are two main layers of the dermis, the upper papillary layer and the lower reticular layer. The upper papillary layer consists of ridges that cause fingerprints and receptors that sense heat, pain, pressure, cold, and touch. These communicate with the central nervous system so that you can react to these feelings. Your fingertips and your lips are more sensitive than other parts of your body because there are more receptors in these parts. The reticular layer is made of connective tissue and contains hair follicles, certain glands, and nerves. Subcutaneous layer or the hypodermis, meaning beneath the skin. It is the lowermost layer of the integumentary system. It consists of mostly adipose tissue and is the storage site of most body fat. It serves to fasten the skin to the underlying surface, provides thermal insulation, and absorbs shocks from impacts to the skin. Accessory structure. The sebaceous glands or oil glands. The sebaceous gland is a very small gland that can only be seen under a microscope. You can find it anywhere on your skin, but mainly where it's hairy. It connects to the hair follicle on top of the skin and also helps protect the skin. It stops any foreign object from entering through a hair follicle. The sebaceous gland also produces an oily secretion on hairs called sebum. Sebum lubricates the hair and allows it to stay healthy and shiny. But when large quantities of sebum are created, it protects the skin and hair from water by reducing the growth of microorganisms. Sebum prevents skin from cracking, turning dry and brittle. The main function of the sebaceous gland is to protect the skin. The sudoriferous glands or sweat glands are small, tubular structures of the skin that produce sweat. Sweat glands are a type of exocrine gland, which are glands that produce and secrete substances onto an epithelial surface way of a duct. Nails. Nails are created when epidermal tissues hardens because of a protein called keratin. They are made of keratinized epidermal cells. Keratin is also used to form hair and to the top layer of your skin. The place where nails grow from is called the nail matrix, but are located in nail beds. The nail root is where the nail starts, which is hidden under your cuticle. Nails grow when new cells are created at the root, which push the old cells out. At the same time, keratin hardens and flattens them. It moves across the nail bed, flat part under nails, where you can see it. Nails protect the sensitive tips of our fingers and toes and aid us when picking up objects. Hair. Hair is an altered type of skin that grows everywhere on your body except on your lips, eyelids, palms of your hands, and the soles of your feet. Although it grows faster in the summer and during the day, then at night in the winter, hair grows from follicles that are hair shafts and roots of your hair. The base of your hair root is known as the hair bulb, which is where nutrients are received and new cells are formed. Follicles are found in the dermis. There are also tiny muscles that are attached to hair follicles and in certain occasions tighten together to form goose pimples or goosebumps and make the hair stand up straight. Hair contains three coverings. The outer layer is the overlapping keratin scales or the cuticle. The center layer is keratinized protein fiber or cortex and generally a central core of round cells or the medulla. Medulla is usually found in coarse hair, but not likely in other natural blonde hair and fine hair. Generalization. How do organs of the integumentary system work together to protect the body?